Students across Ontario are going to be forced to put down their smartphones in September. The Ford government saying it's going to ban the use of cell phones in the classroom.
Well, Ken, the government's basically saying that smartphones doesn't necessarily equal smart students. So coming in September, they're telling those students to leave their cell phones in their backpacks or in their back pocket and not to take them out inside the classroom or even have them on their desks face down. Ask a student about their cell phone and they will admit it.
Too many kids get distracted by them.
What are the things on your cell phone that distract you?
Social media.
School boards have been grappling with this issue for years, but now the Ford government is cracking down, announcing an outright ban on using cell phones in the classroom, with just a few exceptions.
It's obviously for emergency purposes, for medical purposes, and as well for specific courses that require technology platforms, they'd be permissible.
For parents, the move gets a 10 out of 10.
Oh, I'm totally down with that.
And why is that?
Because they're on them too much. You need to pay attention to the teacher, not Googling or anything like that. I mean, they have apps in the classroom, right? Or iPads or whatever. So why do they need cell phones?
I didn't have a cell phone in class when I was a child, so I would ask my teacher if I had an emergency, so I don't think they need them.
The government says students can bring their cell phones with them to class, but they would not be allowed to pull them out or even have them on their desks, especially to browse through Twitter or Instagram.
I would probably refuse.
The Toronto District School Board tried banning cell phones in classrooms about a decade ago, but says it was next to impossible to enforce, and eventually they dropped the policy. What the government has yet to define is what type of punishment teachers would be able to hand out if a student breaks the ban, whether it's being sent to the principal's office or even a suspension.
So what would be an appropriate consequence?
And what I'm suggesting is that decision point will be included in the directives made by the minister to the board.
The government says the ban would be in place for the next school year.
零视频 APP 等你下载。
买成好多钱了那个老师？
原来一对是40几年了，你整个一生都是黄的。
你卖给你的时候，它染成黄的，嘎。大人的也不晓得。
哪个晓得吧？
啊，指头飘。
哎，这我指头就是好看那个。我说这个还有那买过的，我说我那个价那个我在干不干嘛？
零视频 APP 等你下载。
身份证拿出来，我没带，来把那个人脸识别。你从哪儿开过来的？你告诉我。我没开这个。你是不是还要说假话？我们这儿有监控，你晓不晓得？第一个你酒驾，第二个我告诉你，还在高速路上倒车，第三停车。承不承认是你开的车？
不是我不想开，因为在梧桐桥找不着驾驶。
找不到驾驶员，为什么现在你又能打个电话找人来帮你顶包呢？你告诉我。
零视频 APP 等你下载。
上来的时候就完全的领会到这个读书的这个精髓，真的两个人都是特别投入、用心，投入进去才练得好。 自从送到母校来，他刚来的时候是体重是150斤，目前体重是130斤。他在生活方面都是灵敏度都提高了不少。
你的偶像是谁？
李小龙。
有没有练武的目标？
当武打明星。
影视品 APP 等你下载。
这次跟大家道个歉，希望能得到大家的谅解。以后我会更加的严谨，然后减少此类的事情的发生。
动物福利实际上指的就是动物最基本的一些需求，比如说这个有吃的、有喝的，有一个合适的一个生存的环境，然后呢没有伤病然后呢精神上没有这种不良的刺激或者是这种压抑痛苦。动物福利保护更多是说满足动物的这样的一些基本的需要。
将宰杀好的兔子开膛破肚，取出所有的内脏。
我倒是觉得它实际上可能是把这种活的兔子跟死后的兔子放在一起来播放引起大家这种感官上的不适。但是对于兔子来说，它是一个这个家养动物或者是农场动物那对于它的这种饲养，你只要做到人道，实际上我们饲养它的目的无非是用了它的皮或者它的这个肉这是没有问题的。但是呢，前提就是说你在饲养运输、屠宰的各个环节都要满足动物的福利，不要给它造成一些这种不必要的伤害。所以，因为它这个视频中并没有播出它是怎么屠宰的，所以这个很难去评论。但是呢，从这个公众的这种心理这种感受来说，或者从这种社会公序良俗来说，我们通常可能更愿意去善待这些看起来很可爱的动物，而不愿意看到一个血淋淋的尸体我就是觉得它实际上跟动物福利没有太大的关系。动物福利一定是人利用了动物，影响到了动物的基本需求产生的这样的一个问题。所以活着的动物它才有感知力就是感知不良的刺激，或者是感知一些愉悦的情绪。那对于已经死去的动物，实际上它是没有感知的它也就不涉及到动物福利。
影视品 APP 等你下载。